joining us from the busy schedule. And now it is time for me to introduce all of you to our next eminent guest for the day. And yes, it is always a proud feeling to have your alumni here with us, right? So, with all my delight, I introduce all of you to Mr. Pratyush Panda. Mr. Pratyush is a highly competent sales leader with proven track record in areas of P&L management, sales strategy development and execution, product launching, business turnaround, and profit center management. He brings to the table 1.5 decade of enriched experience, which spans across various industries like furniture and building materials. He has been instrumental in delivering some unprecedented results and performance overall across geographies. An affable and empathetic team leader, deliver sustainable, tangible offerings, an avid networker, and always curious. He believes in the power of networking and that everyone we meet teaches us something new. He's currently driving the business of Forbo Flooring Systems, a Swiss multinational company, as country manager for India and SAARC nations. So, with these words, I welcome Mr. Pratyush Panda on this virtual platform, and it is great to have you, Pratyush, once again among all of us. I'm sure students are looking forward to this session. So, without taking much of your time, I request Pratyush to address the audience here. Over to you, Pratyush.
Thank you so very much, Ritika, and thank you so very much. Can you guys hear me, or you can see me, or everyone?
Absolutely, Pratyush. You are audible and visible.
Amazing. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's so amazing to be back in campus, even though virtually. And I don't have a hard stop because this is my institute, and I take a lot of pride in, meeting you, everyone, all the students. You guys are so lucky to be, students of ITS Ghaziabad. And let me tell you, you guys are in able hands. And I just, when ma'am was introducing me, like saying 2005-7 alumnus, I was literally having goosebumps. I mean, I can't express my feelings to you all because I still recall me, just going down the hallowed corridors of the institute, participating in events in the auditorium, munching snacks in canteen, and enjoying with my friends in the lawns of ITS Ghaziabad. Such lovely memories. And I can see Durba ma'am, I can see Satish sir, and in fact, it's really so wonderful to have you here. And you are, looking at you, listening to me, sir and ma'am, because those 2 years we were listening to you, and now you are giving us a chance to, speak to you. So thank you so very much. And yes, I will be very generous. I don't have 5 or 6 slides. I have a 13 slides presentation for you because, as I told, this is my institute. So I will not be, frugal in presenting you the knowledge that I have gained over the years. So how are you all, my dear ITCians?
Good, sir.
Great, sir.
Yeah, so amazing, amazing, amazing. Let me share my screen for you all. Lovely. You all can see my screen?
Yes, Pratyush, your screen is visible.
Lovely, lovely. So yes, Arnab and Rahul had a great talk, setting the expectations and setting the tone for this entire conversation. So I will not take much time into delving into, what the expectation from the corporate is for you guys while you step into corporate life. To be very honest, Arnav was very right when he told that, even the corporate doesn't know what it expects out of you. The expectations keep on changing thanks to these situations like COVID, pandemic, and all these things. So you don't fret over all these things. I will tell you a few growth hacks. I am not a motivational speaker. I don't believe in motivational talks because motivation is something that is, born within, that comes from within. So I present you some growth hacks, some hacks to enable you to be successful while stepping into corporate from your campus life. First hard facts. The first hard fact is the transition from campus to corporate is not easy, not at all. I mean, I still remember my days when I landed my first job. Then I had a very tough time meeting the expectations of my company, my boss. One fine day, what happened was that at 5:30 in the evening, I thought that the day was over, and without informing my boss, I called it a day and I just shut up. I packed my bags and I started my bike and I went home. At 7:30 in the evening, the very day, I received a call from my boss and he asks me, well, you left for the day and you went up and you didn't even inform me. I was completely taken aback because I was not, aware of the expectation that my boss was having of me, that I should inform him every day before winding up, and that my office hours are till 7 or 7:30. That was one hard learning. So hard fact two for you guys is that learning the hard way makes the learning sustainable. If you are taught everything before you step into the corporate life, then probably you will not succeed for a very long tenure. Experience is the best teacher. Learning the hard way through failures, through challenges, through setbacks will make you super successful salesperson or even marketing person, HR persons, IT persons in your career. There are six stages of change. Whenever change happens, usually we human, we have a tendency to, averse change. We don't like change. Nobody likes, because we all are, so engrossed in our comfort zone that whenever we hear about the word change, we are taken aback. The first stage is paralysis. Paralysis means you are completely numb. You go numb. You don't know how to react, what to say. अरे यार ये क्या हो गया मेरे साथ, ये नया चीज क्या आ गया, आप ये इसको मैं कैसे टैकल करूं, what should I do? I don't know what to approach, whom to approach. That is paralysis. Then comes denial. Then you start denying. नहीं यार ऐसे थोड़ी ना होता है. This is something new. Nobody has done it before. How can I do it? Why people are imposing this change on me? So you start denying. Then out of those denial comes anger. आप गुस्सा करते हो फिर. नहीं 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 ये मैं नहीं होने दूंगा. Then you become very very hypertensive. You become angry and you start showing anger towards the change because you are treating that change as an enemy. Out of that anger, when things don't go your way, you then, go into depression. That's a very, very, horrible stage to be in. Obviously, you get depressed. You are completely clueless. You have no idea what's going on around you. You start questioning your own abilities, your own capabilities. That is depression. Then you don't find any other options. You have to accept the change. You have to embrace the change. So obviously, out of that depression, you start exploring the ways around the change. You start exploring. You start speaking to people. You start speaking to your own family members. You start speaking to your friends, your mentors, your coaches, how to navigate through the changes. And then after that exploring stage, then comes the activation stage where you activate yourself. That's yes, I am going to take charge of this thing. I am going to be the leader of this change. I'm going to accept this change in face value and I'm going to do something about this. Then you accept that change and you behave in a way that you are completely capable of leading with the change. So these are six stages of change. You need to understand that everybody is going to go through these changes. Nobody is alien. Nobody is going to accept change as it is. We all have to deny. We'll have to get into depression. Then we will explore and then we'll activate ourselves to accept the change. Then comes attitude versus skills. Always remember, skills can always be taught. Be it your B2B selling skills, be it your Python, be it any Java, be it UI, UX experience designing, or any selling skills. Skills can always be taught. Skills can be coached. Your mentors, your coaches can teach you skills. Your bosses can teach you skills. But what matters, my dear friends, is your attitude. If you do not bring to the table a solid attitude, a positive attitude, and you are not going to succeed in long run. So correct your attitude before you step into the corporate world. Have a very, positive, infectious energy within you. Whomever you meet, whatever task you carry, always bring that positivity with you to the office, to the marketplace, to your table, to your desk. If you have a strong positive attitude towards life, towards your job, nobody is going to stop you. Trust me on that. Then we move on to the next slide, humility versus arrogance. I can't stress enough on the importance of humility. Humility will take you places, arrogance makes you stagnant. You guys are having a lot of dreams, dream to conquer the world, dream to, achieve some tremendous success in your life, in your career, dream to make your parents proud, dream to make your institute proud. But unless and until you are humble, and you are willing to accept change, you are willing to accept your shortcomings, you are willing to accept your drawbacks, you are not going to succeed. So that's the first barrier, to accept your own drawbacks. Then only you can act on those drawbacks to improve on those drawbacks. So always remain humble. Do, do not let arrogance command your behavior. Never. Arrogance is something which is very, very poisonous. Always remain humble. God has given us 2 ears and one mouth. You know what for? Because God wants us to listen more and speak less. We people, when basically we MBA grads, we have a tendency to speak a lot of things, about a lot of things. Wherever you get a chance to speak, we start speaking non-stop, non-stop, non-stop without listening to what other people are saying, without listening to what experts are saying. So you will always have to devote most of your time to listening. Unless and until you listen insightfully, unless and until you listen empathetically, then you are not going to have a proper understanding of the situation. And so you will be in a very precarious situation to take control of the situation. To understand that insightful listening is not only about being participative in the listening act, it's also about taking home pointers with you. What all have you learned out of those discussions with your peer, with your friends, with your teachers, or with your bosses? So always be attentive while discussing, while communicating. Listen more, speak less. Observe, understand, and then apply. जब भी हमारे पास कोई सिचुएशन आता है, we are wired to take some sudden action. We are always reactive. हमको लगता है कि चलो यार ऐसे कर देते हैं, but let first observe, understand, then you apply your brains, to address those issues before your hand. Curiosity has no substitute. Believe me on this. You have to remain curious always, day in and day out. Curiosity will make you a better learned person. Curiosity will take you places. Who has said these fine lines? Stay hungry, stay foolish. You guys must have heard about this. Anyone? Anybody knows who had spoken these very famous lines? Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much. Yes. So Steve Jobs, he had quoted these lines probably some 15, 20 years back, or even before that, while he was building Apple to be a global conglomerate, what it is now. And he was not wrong. And these lines still hold value as we speak on today. You have to always stay hungry for success. You have always to stay hungry, to learn new things. And also, at the same time, you have to stay foolish. Nobody knows everything under the sun. Some people know something, other people know some other things. You have to stay foolish. You have to keep on exploring new ideas, new avenues of learning. You have to explore new platform to speak to new people. Don't keep on speaking to the same old people day in and day out. You won't learn much. Try to network, try to reach out to new people. and ask questions. Trust me on this. Ask questions, not a shame if you don't know something. Nobody knows everything, not even God. You have to be forthright, but also be polite while asking questions. There is no shame if you don't know something. Ask questions, then only you will be getting your answers. Always remember one thing, your network is your net worth. The value of a company is its shares, its market value, its revenues. The value of a person in today's world is his or her network. The kind of people you have in your connections, the kind of people you reach out to, the kind of insights that you get out of those people, and the kind of industry leaders you are in touch with. So this is your network, and you trust me, you can never overdo networking. Networking is something in today's era, more so in today's digital era, when we are encountering through this pandemic and all these things, when we are not physically present in most of the places, when we can't physically present evidences of our success or of our skill sets. Reaching out to people, staying in touch, exchanging ideas with them, this is something which will highlight your potentials, highlight your skill sets on virtual platforms like LinkedIn, like Instagram, like Facebook, like Zoom meetings, Teams meetings, and webinars everywhere. No harm in reaching out and seeking help. Do not hesitate in reaching out to new people. Trust me, they won't mind you if you reach out to them seeking help. In fact, they will be more eager to help, offer their help to you. They will be more eager than you to engage into a discussion because they know something better than you, and they'll be happy to share the knowledge with you. So reach out to people, my dear friends, and do not hesitate to reach out to anyone that you feel that he or she can be help of you. Appearance matters, obviously. First impression is last impression. And this saying has been going on around since ages. It still holds true. Always, always, always stay sharp dressed with a smile. In today's era of wearing masks and all this, our smiles are most of the time hidden. But while virtually meeting somebody, and over webinars or over these Zoom meetings, still remain sharp dressed. Don't take these Zoom meetings, these virtual meetings casually. These are very, very important in today's world. Remain sharp dressed with a smile. Always look and act confident. Even if you don't know something, even if you are down on confidence, even if you are struggling with your own personal demons, always try to look and act confident, because the first impression that you are going to present to your clients, to your bosses, to your company, that's going to matter a long way. As you start building your career, always try to remain curious and look confident. Learning, unlearning, and relearning. Trust me, unlearning is more crucial than learning, because getting rid of something that we are habituated about since ages, since decades, since our birth is very, very difficult. Unlearning something will take a lot of time, lot of effort, but once you unlearn something, then only you will be able to learn a new way how to do that job in a more effective way. So try to explore new courses, upskill yourself, reskill yourselves, and you have ample time nowadays to engage in some virtual courses. There are a lot of free courses available online. The courses like the platforms like Coursera, Unacademy, and there are several other MOOCs available in Google. You can explore these courses. Try to upskill yourself. Any courses, any ideas, any field that you are interested in, be it photography for that matter, be it digital marketing, be it negotiation skills, you will find hell lot of courses online. You just need to devote time, and most of the courses are free. You don't have to spend $1,000 or a fortune to undergo these courses. You just learn. You just need to have an open mind, devote some time. You have to remain curious, inquisitive to learn new skills. And when you showcase these new skills on your resume, somebody, then obviously you will stand out because 95% people they don't upskill themselves. They are still churning out the same methodologies. They are still engaged in the same way of learning. So if you try to remain in those 5% who are always curious, who are always willing to learn new things, you will always stand out. My dear friends, I don't know how many of you will like this, but less Facebook, more LinkedIn now onwards at least. I'm not saying to get rid of Facebook altogether. Facebook is a tremendous tool for the companies as well to advertise their products, to get in touch with our friends. But you need to understand the subtle difference between your personal life and your personal branding. You are a brand. It's not only Unilever, not only ITC, not only Apple, not only Google are brands. You yourself, my dear friends, are a brand. You leverage on that brand of yours. Your personal life, keeping in touch with your friends, family members, having a personal life is welcome. I'm not against that. But try building your own personal brand on platforms like LinkedIn, wherein you showcase your skill sets, wherein you showcase the new skills that you have learned, wherein you showcase your ideas. You get engaged with industry leaders. You share your comments, your ideas on their posts. You reach out to people and you keep on posting something new you have learned, some new experiences you have gathered. You keep on posting those things on LinkedIn. Trust me, LinkedIn is such a solid platform for us professionals that the importance of LinkedIn can never be told in words. This is an ocean of knowledge. It's not only about networking, it's also about learning a lot of new things. Lot of courses are on offer on LinkedIn. We just have to tap the right resources on LinkedIn and make perfect use of it. Also, a role of a coach or a mentor can never be undermined. It can never be underestimated. While I say so, there is a difference between a coach and a mentor. A coach is basically an expert in any particular field. A coach will teach you behavioral science. A coach will teach you B2B selling. A coach will teach you IT skills. A coach will teach you, the posh, as Arnav was mentioning. That's the role of a coach. They are experts in their own field and they will impart that particular skills to you so that you become a better professional. Whereas a mentor is something whom you always look up to. A mentor is your coach, is your guide, is your friend. He can be one of your ex-bosses. He can be one of your ex-teachers. Even he can be one of your elder brothers who has traveled the path, who has done what you are going to do in past, and who has gathered those experiences which can be very, very useful for you and immensely beneficial for you as well. So try to find out a coach, try to find out a mentor for yourself, and keep engaged with them. Not day in and day out, but every once in a while, 2 months, 3 months apart. Keep speaking to them. Try to gain their insights, any new topic that's happening around us. Future of work, for example. How is the future of work going to look like? Keep discussing with them. What new skills can you add? Believe me, even after 13 years, 13, 14 years of my career, I still speak to one of my earlier bosses. And, I try to speak to him every 15 days or a month. And, during this pandemic, while I was exploring my next step, he suggested me to explore digital marketing. I am an in and out sales guy. Digital marketing, even though it's very exciting, I was never, in my wildest of dreams, thought of, exploring digital marketing. When he suggested me so, then I tried to give it a thought. And guess what? Right now, I have completed the fundamentals of digital marketing And right now I am in the second stage of learning the SEOs and these things, UI UX experience of digital marketing from some international, coaches and mentors. So this upskilling, reskilling, also while speaking to your mentors and your coaches help you a lot as you navigate your life from your campus to your corporate. Okay, now talking about the skills in demand. Thanks to this pandemic, a lot has changed. As Rahul as well as Arnav was well telling, most of the jobs have become remote. People are asked to operate from their home, obviously. So what are the skills in demand as we speak on today? First and foremost is your agility. Companies nowadays have started becoming lean. I mean, you won't find 10,000 people operating out of one office or one facility anymore. As the work has become remote, more work is now being done with less people. So unless and until you are agile, unless and until you are always able to multitask, you are willing to carry on new tasks. So you will become redundant. Don't become redundant. Be agile. Be adaptable to new challenges, to new courses, to new roles. Even if you are into sales, suppose, try to explore your hands in marketing, in something else, probably into designing products or product marketing, product management. Be adaptable and be coachable. If you are not coachable, trust me, nobody is going to teach you new skills. Always remain coachable. Always remain, remain open to new things, new learning. Collaboration. Collaboration in today's world is probably one of the most crucial skills that you can have. Collaborating with internal stakeholders, with all the departments of your company, collaborating with your clients, with your vendors, with your third-party agencies like marketing agencies. So the more collaborative you are, the more in demand you will be. Combination of IQ, EQ, SQ, and PQ. You all must have heard about IQ and EQ. So now the demand is for SQ and PQ as well. SQ is your social quotient. As I talked about networking. So how social you are, what's your network size, where all you are connected in, which are industries you are connected to, which are coaches you are connected to. So that your social quotient. Social quotient is very, very paramount in today's world. Then comes your PQ. PQ is something very new, after this pandemic, a lot of thrust is being, importance is being given on our own health, well-being. So PQ is your physical quotient, how fit you are to perform a task, whether you are, taking leaves every week because of your sickness, because of not being well, whether you are, able to put in effort since from 9 to 9 without blinking an eye. Burning out is a very, very, big, crucial aspect that we are encountering as of now. So how fit you are, that's a physical quotient. So a combination of all these IQ, EQ, SQ, and PQ will make you a decent and an average professional in corporate world. Then comes critical thinking. We human are wired to a certain level of understanding, are wired to a certain device level of approaching any new task. We don't think thought. We straight away approach the task without thinking much about the consequences and the causes. So critical thinking is basically a combination of the cause, as which we call it causality. I mean, what has caused this issue to arise? What has caused this problem to arise? Then the consequences of your decisions, of your actions that you are going to take to address those causes. Who all will be affected? Who are the stakeholders who will be affected by your decisions? Then you need to understand. First, you analyze the cause of the problem, then the consequences of your actions. That's critical thinking. Empathy. Empathy can never be underestimated. Empathy is something, which will, make you remain humble, and which will get you more friends in your corporate world. If you are willing, if you are capable to understand problems being faced by others, you will be better placed to address those issues once and when those issues come across yourself. And as Arnav was speaking about Posh. So, this is a very critical thing that that companies are now, being faced on. So, empathy, being empathetic, will make you understand these critical Posh elements. You know, to understand that not every human being is equal. Everyone has their own identities. Everyone has their own, prerequisite skill sets. Everyone has their own upbringing, so not everyone is equal. So you need to be empathetic to embrace everyone that comes your way. Then resilience. Resilience is not tenacity. Tenacity is something that helps you keep on going day in and day out. But resilience is something which helps you rebound from failure. Trust me, failure and challenges are the best teachers. Experiences is your best coach, and resilience is your tool that's going to, help you rebound from the failures that you encounter once you step into your corporate world. And let me take you to the resilience this thing. This is a demonstration of resilience. You all can see my screen? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Great. So on the below axis, on the x-axis, we have coping skills. On the y-axis, we have the stress.
Sorry, sir, to interrupt. We are not able to see your screen. It's a presentation sharing.
No.
Himanshu, the screen is visible. Are other students able to see the screen?
Yes, ma'am. It's a skills in demand.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay.
Himanshu, I think there is some network issue at your end. You may recheck it.
Okay,
Uh,
okay.
Just a
ma'am.
second.
All right. No worries. Thanks for acknowledging. And Pratyush, you may continue.
So, on the x-axis, we have our coping skills, whether our coping skills to any particular situation is low or high. On the y-axis, we have stress level. So suppose we are presented with a lot of scenarios on our daily basis, family issues, office issues, society issues. So any issue that is being presented to us, we need to understand whether we are calm. If our coping skill is low and the stress level is low, then we are calm, we are composed, we are not reactive enough, we are not, disturbed. If the stress is high and our coping skill is low, then we become anxious, we become uncertain, we become very anxious about the situation, the whole entire situation. We don't know what to do, and we know our blood pressure goes up. We are not in a positive frame of mind. We are not being able to take decisions. Whereas if our coping skills is high and the stress level is low, that means we are strong individuals. We are mentally very strong, that we can, we can cope up with any level of stress in our life. Then there is a holding zone in between somewhere, where the coping skill as well as our stress, they are, in equilibrium. So that's our holding zone. We don't need to do much about this holding zone. The topmost thing, when the stress level is very high and parallelly our coping skill also is very high, then we become resilient. We do not accept failure. We do not bow down to challenges. We do not, take a backseat when presented with any failure or challenges. We come back, we bounce back stronger, and with more vigor and more, determination, we face the challenges. Once you become resilient, then, there is no stopping you. You will go places, you will achieve whatever you wish to achieve in your life. So become resilient. these are the top skills. Those are in demand because we are going through very challenging times. A lot of things have changed. Companies' expectations are changing. Our emotional stability is being challenged day in and day out. Working from home, not meeting friends, not going out, not going to the mall, not watching movies, not playing sports, not socializing. So our emotional quotient has taken a very severe hit. So we need to develop all these skills, in order to succeed in our personal as well as professional life. Now that brings to my last slide, my dear friends. The world is a stage. Perform your best act. No, you can be a hero, you can be a heroine, you can be a villain in the story, you can be a comedian, you can play a character role. But whatever role you are playing, perform your best act. Don't fear the unknown. Have faith in your abilities. Fall in love with yourself. Never ever doubt your own capabilities. Never ever doubt your own skill sets. If you are lacking on something, remember anything and everything can be taught. Any skills can be learned. So never ever fear the unknown, which has not yet occurred. Trust your own abilities. It's your life. Make it no, sorry, we won't make it large. We will make it awesome. It's your life. Trust me. This is the only life that you have got. Make it awesome. Live a life that you will be proud of. Live a life that your parents will be proud of. Live a life that your institute will be proud of. And live a life ultimately that you yourself will be proud of. And my dear fellow ITians, go out with vigor, go out with utmost confidence and seize your day. The world is yours. You can do anything that you aspire for. You can achieve anything that you dream of. All you need to do is that